It is time. Nvidia's CES 2025. Finally, the 5000 series. Oh, almost forgot.
Our brand new GeForce RTX 50 series Blackwell architecture. The GPU is just a beast. 92 billion transistors, 4,000 TOPS, 4 petaflops of AI, 3 times higher than the last generation Ada. And we need all of it to generate those pixels that I showed you. 380 ray tracing teraflops so that we could, for the pixels that we have to compute the most beautiful image you possibly can. And of course, 125 shader teraflops. There's actually a concurrent shader teraflops as well as an integer unit of equal performance. So 2 dual shaders.
So in essence, he's basically saying that it should be about three times better, or twice as better.
One is for floating point, one is for integer. G7 memory from Micron, 1.8 terabytes per second, twice the performance of our last generation. And we now have the ability to intermix AI workloads with computer graphics workloads. And one of the amazing things about this generation is the programmable shader is also able to now process neural networks. So the shader is able to carry these neural networks, and as a result, we invented neural texture compression and neural material shading with the Blackwell family.
So it's basically instead of so it's basically AI-based shaders,
RTX
I think.
5070, 4090 performance.
What? That's ridiculous. Wait, how? Like, genuinely, how? I mean, there has to be some sort of compromise. Otherwise, they're straight up just cannibalizing their previous sales, right? I mean, how?
At 549. Impossible without artificial intelligence. Impossible without the 4 TOPS, 4 terops
Okay,
of AI tensor cores. Impossible without the G7 memories. Okay, so 5070, 4090 performance, $549, and here's the whole family. Starting
okay. So basically, it sounds to me like this is it's gonna be AI powered, and that's what's gonna increase its performance. Which I mean, if it works, it works. But what I'm understanding is it's not entirely hardware.
from 5070 all the way up to 5090. 5090, twice the performance of a 4090.
Okay, well, okay. So 59 twice the performance. I would have expected a little. Okay, I know that's impressive, but for some reason, saying that the 4090 is twice the performance of a not the 4090, the 5090 is twice the performance of a 5070 sounds underwhelming, especially after seeing these numbers. 1000 to 3400. We would expect a 3x increase, but he said that 5090 is twice the performance of a 4090, and since a 5070 is the performance of a 4090, then that means that technically speaking, the 5090 is double the performance of the 5070. Double the performance, but look at the price difference. 4 times the price for double the performance?
Starting, of course, we're producing at very large scale availability starting January. Well, it is incredible, but we managed to put these in gigantic performance GPUs into a laptop. This is a 5070 laptop. For $1299, this 5070 laptop has a 4090 performance. And so the
But it's a 4090 laptop performance, right? It's like the 5070 and the new laptops are gonna have the performance of the 4090 laptops. I don't think he's comparing it to the legit 4090. Otherwise, that would be ridiculous.
5090, the 5090 will fit into a laptop, a thin laptop. That last laptop was 14.9 millimeters. You got a 5080, 5070 Ti, and 5070. But what we
5090 in a laptop? I mean, first off, how expensive are those gonna be? And second off, I mean, if someone's getting a 5090, I doubt they're getting a laptop.
basically have here is 72 Blackwell GPUs or 144 dies. This one chip here is 1.4 exaflops. The world's largest supercomputer, fastest supercomputer, only recently, this entire room supercomputer only recently achieved an exaflop plus. This is 1.4 exaflops of AI floating point performance. It has 14 terabytes of memory, but here's the amazing thing. The memory bandwidth is 1.2 petabytes per second. That's basically the entire internet traffic that's happening right now. The entire world's internet traffic is being processed across these chips.
Kind of a weird flex, but I'm trying to process what he just said. The entire internet's traffic, it's being processed by the equivalent of chips that he's holding in his arm, right? I'm pretty sure that's what he's flexing. Is this real? I mean, man, I'm so confused. How is, what exactly, what? Okay, the reason why I'm confused is because you have all of these supercomputers in the entire world, and this company made a chip that can basically do the work of all of those supercomputers around the entire planet into basically what he's holding. Is that even possible? I knew that technology was growing really quickly, especially in like chips and semiconductors, but uh, there has to be there has to be an asterisk here somewhere, right?
Okay? And we have 130 trillion transistors in total, 2,592 CPU cores, whole bunch of networking. And so these, I wish I could do this. I don't think I will. So these are the Blackwells. These are our ConnectX networking chips. These are the NVLink, and we're trying to pretend about the NVLink spine, but that's not possible. Okay? And these are all of the HBM memories, 14 terabytes of HBM memory. This is what we're trying to do, and this is the miracle. This is the miracle of the Blackwell system. So we fine-tune them using our expertise and our capabilities, and we turn them into the Llama Nemotron suite of
Recently, everyone's using Llama for some reason. That everyone is talking about Llama. Isn't that Facebook's open source AI AI that you can teach like you can just download it and it's open source. You can anyone can work with it. Isn't that what they're talking about when they say llama? Or is it something else? I'm I'm kind of confused on that.
open models. There are small ones that interact in very fast response time, extremely small. They're what we call super Llama Nemotron supers. They're basically your mainstream versions of your models, or your ultra model. The ultra model could be used to be a teacher model for a whole bunch of other models. It could be a reward model, evaluator, a judge for other models to create answers and decide whether it's a good answer or not, basically give feedback to other models. It could be distilled in a lot of different ways. Basically, a teacher model, a knowledge distillation model. Very large, very capable. And so all of this is now available online. NVIDIA Cosmos, the world's first world foundation model. It is trained on 20 million hours of video. The 20 million hours of video focuses on physical dynamic things. So dynamic nature themes, humans walking, hands moving, manipulating things, things that are fast camera movements. It's
What are they trying to achieve with this exactly? Because he said that they're feeding it video, but for what exactly? For what reason? What's the practical use of this?
really about teaching the AI, not about generating creative content, but teaching the AI to understand the physical world. And from this, with this physical
So they're just trying to make it sentient? I mean, I'm pretty sure every company is trying to do that, so no surprise there. But I would expect something more practical.
AI, there are many downstream things that we could do as a result. We could do synthetic data generation to train models. We could distill it and turn it into effectively the beginnings of a robotics model. You could have it generate multiple physically based, physically plausible scenarios of the future, basically do a Doctor Strange. You could, because
That's amazing. That's actually really, really cool. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand. So they're creating the Matrix.
because this model understands the physical world. Of course, you saw a whole bunch of images generated. This model understanding the physical world, it also could do, of course, captioning. And so it could take videos, caption it incredibly well, and that captioning and the video could be used to train large language models, multimodality large language models. And so you could use this technology to use this foundation model to train robots, as well as large language models. And so this is the NVIDIA Cosmos. The platform
Okay, so basically they've created something like what Unreal Engine is to the gaming, um, similar to what Unreal Engine is to gaming, in the sense that it's this universal foundation that every company can use if they please to create their games, but not create but have somewhere to start with, like somewhere to start, you know? So in this case, this would be the foundation for robotics programming or anything that has to do with developing technology that can be applied in the real world. This would be like a set in stone foundation simulation type of. Wait, could this be used for video games too?
platform has an autoregressive model for real-time applications, has diffusion model for very high quality image generation. It's incredible tokenizer, basically learning the vocabulary of real world, and a data pipeline so that if you would like to take all of this and then train it on your own data, this data pipeline, because there's so much data involved, we've accelerated everything end to end for you. And so this is the world's first data processing pipeline that's CUDA accelerated as well as AI accelerated. All of this is part of the Cosmos platform. And today we're announcing that Cosmos is open licensed. It's open available on GitHub. Well, today we're announcing that our next generation
Open license, huh? So we should expect a lot of yeah, we should expect a lot of companies to use it. The most creative ones are probably going to end up being the like in video games or like um, Neurosama, you know, that type of content creation or direct to consumer content that would especially video games. I feel like video games are going to benefit the most. If I'm being honest, probably VR is going to benefit the most because video games by themselves, they're pretty straightforward and many people suggest that they've hit their limit, but VR is so primitive. Yeah, that makes sense.
Processor for the car. Our next generation computer for the car is called Thor. I have one right here. Hang on a second. Okay, this is Thor. This is Thor. This is a robotics computer. This is a robotics computer.
An Arduino.
Takes sensors and just a madness amount of sensor information, process it, you know, umpteen cameras, high resolution, radars, lidars, they're all coming into this chip. And this chip has to process all that sensor, turn them into tokens, put them into a transformer, and predict the next path. And this AV computer is now in full production. Thor is 20 times the processing capability of our last generation Orin, which is really the standard of autonomous vehicles today. And so this is just really quite incredible.
Tesla's falling behind.
Thor is in full production. This robotics processor, by the way, also goes into a full robot. And so it could be an AMR, it could be a human or robot, it could be the brain, it could be the manipulator. This processor basically is a universal robotics computer. The ChatGPT moment.
Oh shoot, are these all of the models that are being worked on around the world? I'm simultaneously impressed and disappointed because at the same time, I was first off, I did not know there were that many, and second off, I would have expected there to be more for some reason. That's still really cool. They're all different.
For general robotics is just around the corner. And in fact, all of the enabling technologies that I've been talking about is going to make it possible for us in the next several years to see very rapid breakthroughs, surprising breakthroughs in general robotics. Now, the reason why general robotics is so important is whereas robots with tracks and wheels require special environments to accommodate them, there are three robots in the world that we can make that require no green fields. Brownfield adaptation is perfect. If we could possibly build these amazing robots, we could deploy them in exactly the world that we've built for ourselves. These three robots are, one, agentic robots and agentic AI, because they're information workers. So long as they could accommodate the computers that we have in our offices, it's going to be great. Number two, self-driving cars. And the reason for that is we spent 100 plus years building roads and cities. And then number three, human or robots. If we have the technology to solve these three, this will be the largest technology industry the world's ever seen.
That is true. Although the thing I don't understand is I keep hearing about engineers not being able to find work, but with the technology boom that is approaching, how is that even possible?
This is Nvidia's latest AI supercomputer.
Nvidia really pulled an apple on this one.
And it's finally called Project Digits right now. And if you have a good name for it, reach out to us. Here's the amazing thing. This is an AI supercomputer. It runs the entire NVIDIA AI stack. All of NVIDIA software runs on this. DGX Cloud runs on this.
Again, how?
This sits, well, somewhere, and it's wireless or connected to your computer. It's even a workstation if you like it to be. And you could access it. You could reach it like a cloud supercomputer, and NVIDIA's AI works on it. And it's based on a super secret chip that we've been working on called GB110, the smallest Grace Blackwell that we make. And this is the chip that's inside. It is in production. This top secret chip we did in collaboration. The CPU, the Grace CPU, is built for NVIDIA in collaboration with MediaTek. They're the world's leading SoC company, and they worked with us to build this CPU SoC, and connect it with chip-to-chip NVLink to the Blackwell GPU.
Okay, again, I want, I am refusing to believe that all of the Nvidia actually runs their entire company through this tiny box. I refuse to believe that. They must have like a larger version of this, and so I mean, and so does I'm refused to believe that Nvidia is so far ahead of everybody else that they can pretty much rebuild the entire internet from scratch and maintain it and expand it with the technology they currently have available. I just Because if that's the case, if they're willing to if they're capable of doing this, then technically speaking, they have the technology to do anything, right? They could ruin cryptocurrencies because, and I know this is mostly capacity and cryptocurrency is something different, and but like, come on, they clearly know what they're saying when they talk about this stuff and talk about the capacity of their chips and talk about how advanced their AI systems are now. Are they just playing dumb and pretending that and like not using their going the Spider-Man route and just saying with great power comes great responsibility and not using that knowledge to control the internet, or is this or is there like a massive caveat to all of this? That's my question.
And this little thing here is in full production. We're expecting this computer to be available around May timeframe.
And that's that. That's so weird though. That is so weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible that they're that far like ahead of everybody else, but it's just so hard to believe. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.